fines. North Carolina High School Athletic Association has accumulated $40 million in reserves, which is more than any other state in the union, not the Southeast, in the union. Okay, 50 states. In other words, California's athletic association has less money than North Carolina's, Terry. So you've drawn the fire, and I know there's some other kind of controversial politics behind this. And, and Q Tucker thinks she's been singled out, and they're picking on her. But I'm going to tell her, if you live in a glass house, don't throw stones. There's a lot of things about the athletic association that people don't like, and legislature stepping in to do what they think they need to do about it.
Well, I ain't got a problem with them stepping in and doing it, but you got to have all your ducks in a row. I mean, this just come up so fast that they's going to, decide to do this. But my whole deal is, do you have everything covered? I mean, you understand. I understand they got that $40 million, and I understand it's all about them not giving back. I mean, if you had $20 million and you had gave $20 million back, different story. But when you keep adding up and that just keeps adding, I understand the situation. But my deal is, have your ducks in a row. If you're going to go in and you're going to do this, what you going to do if this happens? What you going to do if this happens?
Well, what they're going to do is they want to create. I can't remember how many people are going to be on this board for the rules, but together, I think it was the Speaker of the House, the Governor, and the President Pro Tem of the Senate would get together and start selecting members of the governing board of athletics in the state of North Carolina. Well, you know what's going to happen then. It's going to become political. Now they argue that, well, it's supposed to be apolitical, but we know it's not apolitical. It's going to be political anyway. But this would make it hyper political. The fact that you're having these elected leaders. I mean,
do they know anything about football?
I don't really feel comfortable saying, Tim Moore or Berger or Governor Cooper, what is their athletic background? What do they know about it? I don't know if that's such a great idea. Like you say, have your ducks in a row. I don't think that's the best way to do it. Well, how would you put it? I would say you'd probably want to have an election amongst athletic directors, prominent coaches, people who know a little something about sports. Now, there is pushback from ADs who don't want this because they probably don't want the Athletic Association super politicized. I'm telling you, the first thing that's going to come down, Terry, is transgender kids, and especially the ones that go from boy to girl, sports eligibility. That's a political football right now. And I know at the bottom of this that, it's a Republican-dominated state, that they want to put barriers in place to make sure that doesn't happen. I don't know how our listeners feel about that, but other states, this has been a controversy as time goes on, and it's going to continue to be a controversy. Transgender kids, especially if they go from boy to girl, should they be able to continue to participate? Should they be able to participate in the girls' athletics? And I think that's a major. That's for a lot of people. That's just an emotional hot button topic, and if the politics gets involved with that, Terry, it's going to get ugly.
All right, ready for some facts and info?
Yeah,
and maybe some questions that people might not have asked. I just like going through the comments, Tom. Like you said, some pushback from the ADs.
Yeah.
They get kickbacks from the state. So
okay,
let's be clear on why they may be. Shelby received $7,000 from the state of North Carolina in 2018. Now, when I'm saying these numbers, these are all 2018 tax reforms I have in my hand because it is a non-profit. So I've got all the bills, all the taxes right in front of me.
Before you go into that, I just want to say a couple things. Another couple things they were upset about is the fines are a little too heavy. Mm-hmm. Like I think Shelby got fined for our JV girl sat on the varsity bench. They got fined $500. There's pushback against that, and the fact that the state takes part of the gate for playoff games.
Yep.
And it's hard so basically. A lot of people push it back because they're accusing him of being kind of a little greedy. But
we got a couple of things we need. A couple of things we need to clear off. So this is not. So basically, it's a nonprofit organization that's running the sports of North Carolina. Let's be clear on exactly what this is, right? The North Carolina sports, true or false, guys, are they not public high schools?
Yeah.
Are they public high schools not run by the government?
Yeah, so
Yes.
with a few
Yes.
exceptions,
Yes.
you have charters have more freedom, and then there are some private schools involved in
But
athletic associations.
what we're talking about here is the public high school sports of North Carolina, and my impression is that why in the world would the government not be running the sports of North Carolina of their schools? They're not running. The North Carolina government isn't saying, "Well, I want to run Babe Ruth baseball or I want to run Little League." They're saying we want to run our sports that our money that we raise taxes for in our districts should pay for. Okay, why should Q Tucker or anyone else be making money off this that aren't doing anything as far as we know, providing brackets and other things? Based on their math, I'm going to give you guys some math. The North Carolina Athletic Association per year takes in enough money for each student, $13,000. Okay, private schools in America right now, the national private school average is $11,000 per student for sending a kid to private school. The national average public school spending per student is $13,000. So you can pay to go to cheaper private school than the United States, and the
national average
is national average of spending per student.
Now, the North Carolina average is closer to 9,000.
Right. So if with that, you have a nonprofit bringing in money that's about 11 to 12,000 per student.
We're only spending 9,000,
and we're only spending 9,000. Just the government is. So they're bringing in more that they're spending on students. So any of that money, like when you hear a school complain about gas money, maybe you should call the NCAA. Should they not be paying for the gas for any of these state competitions? If you're making me go across from Cherryville to where do we go down there? Whiteville. Cherryville and Bessemer, shouldn't the state of North Carolina be paying for that? It's not, but that's the argument. Should it be the public and the government and the funds you guys bring? It should be an independent. So that's one thing that people need to understand is, what would you rather be happening? People say, well, the government's going to run it. It's a government school. Why wouldn't they be? That's my opinion on it. So I think they should be running it, and I don't think an independent, whatever they are, making millions of dollars off of it, should be running.
At one time, it was associated with the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Yeah. And now it's not, from my understanding.
Now, whether or not who's qualified for it, they can put somebody in that's qualified for it. But Terry, you said, does so-and-so know about football? What does Q Tucker? What does the next guy? The next guy?
Q Tucker showed her lack of football knowledge with this conference that we have, where we have Thomas Jefferson driving past 3 similar-sized schools to go to Gastonia to play Highland Tech.
Q Tucker break.
I mean, that's what I was talking about earlier. When you do stupid stuff, Terry, and you draw the fire, and that's why, I mean, I don't agree with everything the legislature does by all means, but you've kind of drawn the fire. You've done things to make yourself a target.
Well, she basically put herself, and I had a lot, I understand her having a job, and I ain't got a problem with that. But when you sit there and we got Max Preps out of California doing our thing, and then you got a coach that calls you saying, well, how come this happened to me? And you have no answer for him. I have a hard time with that. If you're going to put the thing in place, you better have all the answers. If you're going to have Max Preps doing it, then you need to know everything that they did and how come they did it. And, she drew fire from me for that, because when she goes, oh, I have no answer how come they did that. Well, then, then I have a hard time with you being the leader of somebody else doing it. And I don't have a problem with our government doing it here if you put the right people in place. It should, I don't know anything about Cooper. I don't know how much sports he ever played, if he ever played any, but he shouldn't be over something that he might be the leader, but not the final say, if you don't have no clue of what's going on.
The good thing about however they do that, though, Terry, is legislative, and it's things we vote on, and we can vote on some of these.
If they put it out there for us to do that. We can
somehow be able to vote on people out, whether it's the governor, whoever's in charge of it. At some point, there's somebody to be voted on and put out. You can never vote on Q Tucker out.
Yeah.
She got her. They've got she got herself this past year a PPP loan to pay for her salary, $150-some thousand to pay for her salary. Now they said you can't use the endowment to pay salaries. Well, whether that's a rule or not, you're still again. She's living off taxpayer and taxpayer money while working at a nonprofit.
Yeah.
So let's be clear where that money's coming from. It's all coming from public schools and public. It could be public money.
That being said, it's not that uncommon to let a nonprofit administer the government service.
True.
I mean it's
True.
not uncommon. It's not like it's out of the blue. But go back to Terry's point. You're gonna have. Can you imagine Tim Moore, Berger, and Cooper in a room who don't like each other, trying to figure out who's going to be on the governing board, Kevin?
Now then you got to make it legit.
That's what we put them there for.
You got to make it legit. You got to have somebody
out.
from the West, somebody from the Midwest.
Yeah. So let's go over some actual numbers. How about contributions and here's the revenue that they've pulled in. Contributions and grants, $2.4 million they pulled in last year. Program service revenue, I don't know what that is exactly. It's $3.1 million. Investment income, this is money they've made off their the stocks that they own, $1.7 million they made off that. Other revenue says zero. Total revenue, $7 million. This is 2018. Expenses. Well, we got $7 million, right, that we just got. And remember, we're a nonprofit. We're working for public schools. Terry's talking about giving back. Well, what do we give back? Grants, $1 million. Salaries, $1.2 million. I'm on the first page, guys. I'm sure it gets more interesting to the tax people, and I'm not even a tax person. So, Terry, you're saying about giving back. You brought in 7, you give back 1 in grants, and you paid your salaries $1.2 million. Other expenses, whatever that is, $3 million. So, of the 7, whatever 1 and 7 is, Tom, percentage-wise, that's what they spent on grants and similar amounts paid. Okay. So, that don't even...
Ballpark, it's about 14%.
Yeah, but now here's my deal with what I paid. He says 1.2, right?
For what, salaries?
Yeah,
yeah,
salaries. Okay, now what is salaries? Is salaries gas money to go places?
No, that's the other expenses.
I mean, so that goes in other expenses.
She gets $150,000 herself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're the leader, you're going to pay yourself. That's in anything that we do and any kind of thing in North Carolina.
Again.
The leader's going to make the most.
How much would you, Terry? How much would you ask to be paid to lead the group of people who make brackets?
How much would I ask? I mean, if she's getting 156.
No, not what she's making.
I didn't say that.
I'm saying if you didn't have known that, and I'd have said, Terry, I need you to lead 10 people to make brackets in all sports. How much would I pay you a year?
I do it for it for my teacher salary. Wouldn't you, Terry?
That's what I'm saying.
About 100,000.
I wouldn't even want that much.
Would you not?
Just pay me you know what? I'm a 10-month employee. Just give me 2 extra checks in the summer. Because just give me my 2 extra checks in the summer, and I'm good.
There you go.
That's all I need.
So officially, she's listed as the only full-time employee. How that goes.
Wait a minute. The only full-time employee.
Mm-hmm.
So all these other people are doing it to the side for lots of money.
Yes. If you can divide,
Tom, me and you can be on that.
Hey, we got side gigs.
Remember, I said how much on they spent 1.2 on salaries. There's 19 people. She gets 1.5. You can do the math.
That's exactly right.
All right, so she $156,927 was her base comp. Then she got $13,000 in bonuses.
$13,000 in bonus, not counting other of the gas money and.
Gate receipts. Terry was asking about that. Program service revenue. They brought in $1.6 million in gate receipts. Paying them their insurance. I guess that school's paying their insurance fees. $691,000. Officials registration fees. That's referees paying them to be an official. Terry,
That's me.
$450,000 they brought in. So you guys paid for 3 Qs.
They do give you a discount if you do 2 sports.
Yeah.
Membership dues. Here's the one that I get into. It's not that as bad as the other ones though. It's only $379,000. So again, you guys pay the Athletic Association $379,000 just to be a member of, and those are and you're backing them. You could keep that money and pay gas money, and somebody's already getting paid for it, and the government could just make your bracket. That's what I'm saying. 100 counties. That's $37,000 a county in gas.
Just fax me the teams. I'll make you a bracket for $100.
Revenue. I don't even know. I don't even know what this means for programs. Like a selling program, selling rule books, and the director revenue and director. I don't even know what that means. $27,000.
They do.
You got to give every
official rule.
Yeah,
they
got to have one. I mean, then all the schools got to have
That's
one.
That's not giving. That's selling. That's revenue.
They do give you.
That's not giving away 20. Somebody's paying for it.
I got my soccer.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm telling you guys on tax listing, they's listed as a revenue, as in someone paid them for that. Whether you did or not,
that's
someone
your
did.
sponsors and stuff that gave them all that.
Terry, you're not understanding what I'm reading the tax thing here. Okay. Investment income, $900,000. They invested. They gave away $1 million for grants, Terry, and invested for themselves $900,000. Do you like this sheet?
Objectively speaking, it's like, and what they're all going to say is, well, this is politics.
Sorry,
this is the kind of stuff I'm saying is making people upset.
Sorry, that was investment income. That's what they made on their investments. So they brought in $900,000 on investments. This is your functional expenses. Here, you want to know what they spend money on, Terry? There was $1 million on that. Grants, $39,000. Compensation of current directors, direct trustees, and other key employees, $170,000. And this is the one so compensation of current officers, employees. Remember what I said? How much she gets paid, right? That's hers. Other salaries and wages, and it doesn't break it down. $816,000. Pension plans, $61,000. Other employee benefits, $100,000. Payroll taxes, $72,000. Lobbying, $66,000 to go to the state right now. Investment and management fees to pay a management to invest your stuff, $250,000 they spent on that. Advertising and promotion, $29,000. Other office expenses, office equipment's expensive. Tom, it's $260,000. Travel, you was asking about that, Terry, $15,000. Conference, conventions, and meetings, $140,000. So that means fancy hotels. Interest, $3,000. Depreciation, depletion, and depreciation, depletion, and amortization. So they marked off $80,000 on that, and they paid $460,000 in insurance, which is the schools paid. There's $370,000, so that's almost paid that. Team expenses, $1 million. Gate receipts distributed $300,000. So they give away $300,000 in gates. They brought in, what was it? It was a lot more than that. There's like $3 million on that, or $1 million on that. Awards, Terry, they spent $100,000 on awards, and that's that one. Assets, Tom, you know about that?
More than mine.
Cash, $11 million. Savings in the savings account, $900,000. Kind of a weird count there. Pledges and grants, $55,000. Investments, public traded securities. Here's the big one. $24 million in investments, public traded securities. Tom, what does that mean? Stock market.
Yes, public traded securities are, just corporations on the stock market.
So total assets, this is 2018, remember, it's been 3 years since then. $39 million, 24 of it is in stocks. They have $11 million in cash. Spend $170,000 on the director, $800,000 on the other people that sit in the circle. That one's non-fun. That one's not fun. Here's some of the public support. That was one I wanted to see one more time. I know this is kind of boring, but just kind of give it an idea. Any other comments and questions, Terry, while I'm kind of going through this on hearing some of these numbers?
Tom, I don't know what to say. I mean, for a lot of people, they're just like stunned with what we're throwing out there. But I mean, I know you got to be, and we keep saying nonprofit, but they got to make some money. I mean, they got to make some.
You got to pay the people.
Yeah, you got to, and you got to have so many people. It's got to be more than one. So they've got what, 9 total, or 11 total? 19 total. I mean, so you got to have people helping, and that's more than one. So, and I do like the 19.
Terry,
so
that's
it's odd. I mean, well, I'm just saying it's got to be. It's better than 18, where it all ends up in a 9-9 tie. You do have 19. Somebody's going to break it, and that's Q Tucker, the one that's going to break it. So, here's my deal. If you're going to get away with it, what have you got that's going to be better? And there's my problem. Do we have something that's going to be better?
Well, a politically charged athletic association, I don't think is the way to go. I don't know. I would say it's still going to be politics in it no matter how. If you let the AD select it, then you're still going to have politics in it. But it won't be just blind Democrat, Republican politics, which I don't really think is good for sports. But that's the thing is, if you're going to do away with something, you don't do away with something without having something solid in its place.
Yeah.
But like I said, all that Kevin's going all over that stuff. I'm telling you, there's other political issues in sports that are part of this.
And I know everybody.
Here you go, Terry. 2008, 36 scholarships, $39,000. There's 100 counties in the state.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the easiest math I can do. I'll hand it to Tom. Make sure I read that right there, Tom.
They gave $39,000 in scholarships?
Yes.
That's
2018. That's the tax form. You're staring at it.
So they gave an average of about a little bit more than $1,000. What they say? Here's some money. You can go buy your books for 1 year.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
right.
It's crazy.
It's just
crazy.
So so my issues is I would rather the people. It's a government schools, it's public schools. I would rather someone in that system be in charge of your sports. Why can't the athletic directors have an athletic director association and do brackets? This isn't hard.
Yeah.
Elect somebody in charge of that, or however you want to do that, and then go from there. You don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars on someone else or somebody else doing this. And my point of it is, like, you could get Terry and 10 of his groups. You give the whole group probably $100,000 for the whole year and get everything done.
Well, do you not sit back though with what they've done?
$1,000 a school.
The NCAA SSA has been in there for how long?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Really, if it's been in there for 50 years or longer, and now all of a sudden we have a problem with it. On account of all of a sudden they got all this money over here stashed to the side that they could use.
All this we've been talking, though, just remember that none of this can happen unless a bill passes the Senate, the House, and is signed by the governor. And I'll tell you that it's mainly Republicans pushing for the bill. It's mainly Democrats pushing back. And I don't think they have veto. They would have a veto-proof majority on this. They might have a few years ago, but they don't now. So I don't think there's going to be a change. And if there is a change, Terry, it would not come into effect until 2022, the following year. So
I also look at it like this, Tom. When you have Q Tucker cannot make everybody happy. That's going to happen in any business, no matter what kind of business he is. The leader cannot make everybody in his plant satisfied.
No, but just based on the conferences around here, I can understand
your conferences.
Can understand why she's taking some flack, man. You can't do stuff like that. There's just too many things that are blatantly, obviously should not have been done. There's no way that they should have $40 million accumulated and only give out $39,000 in scholarships, Terry. You can't do that. You that's too easy to come at you. It's too easy to come at you.
What if it had been $1,000 per county?
That would be $100,000. No.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No. That wouldn't satisfy nobody.
No, but if Terry, $39,000 isn't even enough to pay one half of one kid's college education.
I agree. Now I'm with you.
So that's kind of just a ridiculously low figure when she's making $150,000 a year, which is not crazy money, Terry.
No,
it's not crazy money.
But again, we're raising $7 to $9 million to spend $40,000 on scholarships, make some brackets, and then pay 19 people $1 million.
Yeah, just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And if I could do the math on that, I want to say that's about $50,000 per employee. Am I right, Kevin?
It's a little bit more than that, minus her, because it's 1.2, which is her salary. So it's $1 million minus that, divided by 18, basically. If you want to do that.
So if we want to do $1 million,
it's a little bit more than.
If I can do, I would say they're averaging about $50,000. My math in my head sometimes is not that great, but if we have $1 million and we minus hers is 150.
No, don't minus hers. Just do $1 million divided by 18.
$1 million divided by 18 is about $55,000 a year.
There you go.
Which a starting teacher, you know what a starting teacher salary is? $35,000 a year.
That's what I'm saying.
So think about that. Think about the teachers or somebody. You could hire one person, Tom, at $50,000 a teacher. That could be your job to make some brackets and have Terry help you out a little bit there.
That sounds like a good. Let's apply for the job.
Me and you both can do
let's
that.
apply
Make
for
Terry
the
run
job.
the complaint line. That's what he needs. That would be the best thing for everybody. And to make sure we record it.
Well, you wouldn't want me to
Everything.
do that, Kevin.
Yes, we do.
No, you wouldn't.
You
You would not want me to be on that part because I'm not going to be Amanda Iffy Annie. I'm going to tell you, and that's how we're going to go.
That's why you're on the line.
I'm gonna
And this,
have-
we're going to record it, and it's
I'm
going to be the
gonna
best
have some
bloopers
PO
of all
people.
time.
I'm
in
your
the world.
democratically elected dictator.
That's
there
what
you
I'm
go.
saying.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and as soon as I can figure this out, make sure I hit all the buttons right. When we come back, we'll talk Legion and Cleveland Indians, the Guardians, and more on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Is being different a good thing? Well, at Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City, our customers say we're different. Look at our Google reviews. They say we're different too. We have the region's only non-commissioned sales force. We use no haggle, clear choice pricing, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. When our customers leave, they say, that was a great experience. And that's where we're most different. That's Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram, and we're located in Forest City.
Edward Jones is the proud sponsor of Cherryville American Legion Post 100 Baseball on WCSL KTC Broadcasting. Call Financial Advisor Brent Reynolds at 704-732-4726 for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Buildings Are Us. 1703 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby is your locally family-owned source for quality built buildings. They carry a large selection of carports and storage buildings. Rent-to-own is available on almost everything. Plus, with your purchase, you get free delivery, block, and setup within a 50-mile radius. They're running special promotional discounts now through July 19th. So check out one of their 3 locations. Buildings Are Us in Shelby, Buildings Are Us Hendersonville, or Fidio Sheds in Forest City. Call 704-482-3166 or go to buildingsareusllc.com.
Butcher Boys Cafe and Catering in Denver has the best buffet around. Breakfast buffet, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Eggs, sausage, pancakes, and many more of your favorites. Lunch buffet, Tuesday through Sunday. Fried chicken, green beans, corn, mashed potatoes, black-eyed peas. If you like home-cooked country food, this is your place. Friday nights is seafood buffet with fish, shrimp, scallops, and oysters. Open 6 days a week. Tuesdays, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Wednesday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sundays, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Butcher Boys Cafe and Catering, 6347 Highway 150 East. Call 704-483-5995. Like them on Facebook.
Check out the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday all-you-can-eat specials from the Captain's Cap Family Fish House. On Tuesdays, it's all-you-can-eat baby fried flounder for $10.99. On Wednesday, all-you-can-eat calabash shrimp for $10.99. And on Thursday, it's all-you-can-eat whitefish for $10.99. And Sunday is your choice of all-you-can-eat calabash shrimp or perch for $10.99. And the Captain's Cap is now hiring. That's the Captain Cap Family Fish House, 3140 Linwood Road, Gastonia. Voted again Best Family Fish House, Best Salad Bar, and Best Tea. The Captain's Cap Family Fish House. Quality living starts at Carolina Care Retirement Cottages in Cherryville. Experience a gracious retirement with a wide range of social activities to truly make your life golden. From birthday and anniversary socials to Bible studies to matinee movies and more. Check out the beautiful clubhouse, great for all kinds of special events. It could be yours to enjoy. Carolina Care Retirement Cottages on Leisure Lane at Carolina Care Center, Highway 274 north of Cherryville. Call 704-435-7900 or visit sandstonehealth.com. The Spring Fling is underway at Carolina Federal Credit Union in Cherryville. Now you can get $100 cash back when you refinance from another lender. Now financing up to 84 months for new and used auto loans. You can get 1.49% APR financing for new autos and 1.99% APR financing for used autos. Apply online at carolinafcu.org or call 704-435-0186. Carolina Federal Credit Union, 1200 East Church Street in Cherryville. They treat you like family because you are.
Carpenter Porter Funeral and Cremation Services in Cherryville is there for you in your time of need. They're a progressive and comprehensive funeral service provider, promoting the highest ethical and professional standards while maintaining cost-effective service. Funeral directors John Porter, Scott, and Hannah Garrett are there to help you and give you guidance during one of life's most difficult times. For more information, call 704-435-6711. Located at 1100 East Main Street in Cherryville and online at carpentersfuneralhome.net, a member of the National Funeral Directors Association.
Gaston County's premier flooring center is Carpet One Interiors, located at 2757 East Ozark Avenue in Gastonia. Seeing is believing at Carpet One Interiors in Gastonia, where you get a large selection at a low price with expert advice. Ask about their beautiful guarantee. If you don't love your new carpet, they'll replace it free. And right now, luxury vinyl plank is just $2.99 a square foot. Come see for yourself and refresh your home this year with a stop at Carpet One Interiors, 2757 East Ozark Avenue in Gastonia. Online at carpet1gastonia.com. It's time to join the family. Join the Chevy family at Carter Chevrolet in Shelby. Coming out for special offers. Get $4,000 customer cash on a new 2021 Chevrolet Equinox. Get $2,750 customer cash on the new 2021 Chevrolet Blazer. And get $2,250 customer cash on the new 2021 Chevrolet Trailblazer. Come on in for all the details and join the family, the Chevy family, at Carter Chevrolet, 200 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at carterchevyofshelby.com. It's been a tough year, especially for our students and faculty at all of our local area schools. The City of Cherryville would like to take this time and salute all of our school heroes, from Cherryville Mayor H.L. Bean, Council members Jill Pewitt, Malcolm Parker, Gary Freeman, and John Abernathy, and City Manager Jeff Cash. You are appreciated, and we salute you for the job you do. This message from everyone at the City of Cherryville. Now you can get more of your trade-in at Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia. Now get up to 120% value on your trade-in. Get the most ever for your trade. And check out the great deals, including the 2021 Volkswagen Jetta. Lease it for $220 per month or buy it for 0% APR financing for 60 months. Trade in now for the best deal ever at Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia, 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at classicvwgastonia.com.
When is being different a good thing? Well, at Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City, our customers say we're different. Look at our Google reviews. They say we're different too. We have the region's only non-commissioned sales force. We use no haggle, clear choice pricing, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. When our customers leave, they say, that was a great experience. And that's where we're most different. That's Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram, and we're located in Forest City.
We got all 7 in.
Hey, and good morning, everybody. Welcome, Tom, to Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge. You got yours, Matt?
I do. Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, located at 160 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina. Give them a call, 828-919-3001. Friendship Nissan, 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661. And Terry, I noticed this morning that Terry does one of these numbers to get his window rolled up. Terry, why don't you get into the 21st century, go down to Friendship, get you a car with some power windows?
It's the only workout he gets it, Tom.
Oh, God.
Hey, it's like he's really, I'll tell you what, it looks like he's really expending some energy on that. I'm like, Terry, man, get
move those bags over here.
Tom, just on account of you so
You see
laid
your
back,
jersey.
and I want everything to happen for you with a touch of a button.
I know.
You know,
I'll warm his butt up. And
He's probably got that in his
I
Mustang.
grew up with cars like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I grew up with cars like that.
Probably got that old heated
And you know what
seat.
else? And you know what else? If like I work part-time for my buddy delivering chemicals every now and then, every one of those rental trucks has those. They don't put power windows in those rental
That's
trucks.
right. Roll it down.
They don't want something else to break. Could you imagine these what's the generation behind millennials? Z, the generation Z or Generation weirdos, what I would call them. Could
Only
you see
problem
them?
I ever
They
hate
would
out of
never
my
figure
truck,
out how to
Tom.
get the window down, Kevin.
No.
They'd never figure it
The
out.
only problem I
No.
hate out of my truck is my delayed windshield wipers. Because sometimes it's got that little tab and you have to press.
I tell you what,
Then press.
I hate my rain active. The BMW has a rain activated. So it's like I don't need a sensor on my windshield wipers, Terry.
You know when it's raining. When the dots start appearing on the shield.
Tom don't.
Poop.
This daggum little button has to tell him.
Now, I tell you when that
Raining
does come in
outside.
handy. I will tell you that. If you're ever riding and you pass a truck or something else and it splashes the water on your windshield, that it will come up there because if you're going around a curve or something that happens and you hit, you could be disastrous for some people if you don't know how to drive.
That don't know how to drive.
Right, if you don't know how to drive. Remember, 90% of the wrecks in Watauga County are for Florida tags. That's all you need to know about Watauga County.
I cuss Florida drivers regularly.
All right, Legion baseball coming up in the here in the next few weeks here in North Carolina. Of course, we're the epicenter of the Legion baseball. We got states, regionals, and the World Series here. And I was told or overheard. I think they're talking about the regionals to be moving in a year or two to another team with other states and other locations. I do got a list of announcers there. I'll give Danny later. That's just a list, Terry, for the press box lady. States this Wednesday. Now, this is preliminary times. Everything will be confirmed, I think, tomorrow. And the teams tomorrow, they got 7 of the 8 teams now. I do not know the 7 of the 8 teams. I'm being told, guys, that Cherryville will be playing the 7 o'clock game every night on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So if you're Cherryville fans, that we'll be holding that off for you guys. So you guys can get to the ballpark on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Now Wednesday's game may be 7:30 start. Danny said just because opening ceremonies is between the third and the fourth game. So don't know exactly. Tentatively 7, maybe 7:30. They'll let us know tomorrow probably what they're going to do with all of that. So we got 4 games Wednesday, 4 games Thursday, 4 games Friday. Roughly 9, 12, 3, and 7, 9:30, 12:30, 3:30, 7:30. We'll get you the exact times, like I said, again tomorrow. Now, it is pool play for you soccer fans. Winner, the top first and second place teams in each group will advance to Saturday play for 4 and 7 o'clock games. Okay, and then Sunday night will be the championship game, 5 o'clock, winner take all. Of course, Sunday night to be determined who will be in that. World Series in Shelby begin August 12th. We'll have 4 games on the 12th, 2 on the 13th, 3 on the 14th, 3 on the 15th, and then Monday is the semifinals and Tuesday championship Tuesday for the World Series.
Are they having a concert?
I do not know.
Okay.
I'm not in that loop. So let's move over to Major League Baseball and the big news, of course, this week. And you see Tommy and came out of kind of just. You said they've been preparing and talking about it and kind of warned us, and I didn't think it would ever happen before the Redskins happened with them. And then of all the names, Tom, we've talked about this before. Unless in my, I don't know if it's a joke or whatever. My point of it is until they changed the Bureau of Indian Affairs, is your guys' name an issue? Now, whether or not they want to argue about logos and people dressing up and whatever they want to argue about with that, the name was that. Now, the Redskins have already come out and said, because someone was asking about would they be willing to change the Warriors, and they said they are doing nothing Native American as well. Yeah. So are the Braves next? What about the Seminoles? Like some of these have actually made deals with these schools and teams in the tribes that they're okay with that. So I don't know where all that's going to go. Where it's going to end.
That's what the some people said they'd like to see him get together with some of the tribes in the area and say, hey, what's an acceptable name? That's still a Native American thing. It's not Indians. And maybe they could have worked it out, but that's not what happened. We are named the Guardians, inspired by the bridge in Cleveland with the statues that are the guardians of traffic.
Okay, you know anything about that?
So it's a Cleveland.
Guardians of traffic.
It's a Cleveland thing. I mean,
I researched a little bit yesterday just so I know a little bit about it. I was just wondering if Terry had ever heard of it. Have you, Terry?
No,
Okay.
no.
They were going to get rid of the statues not too long ago and widen the bridge. And then people freaked out, said, no, this is because the statues on the bridge are historical.
Mm-hmm.
So the bridge was originally built, I believe, completed in 1932. So it's kind of like the Shake Shop in Cherryville. Okay, it's just one of those icons.
That's been there. That's just
just
stays,
been there.
should never go away.
It's a Cleveland thing, but you probably tell how I feel about it by my outfit. I never wear hats, Terry, but I wore a hat today.
Well, I'm proud of you, Tom, because when I saw that, that would be like Kansas City changing theirs. But when I saw that for y'all, I was like, what are we doing? And I understand that it's all about changing, but I'm with you on getting the tribes together saying, hey, we're going to stay with you. You tell us.
A few years back, they were fine with it. But then, we're ruled by extremes. It's not just extreme left, it's extreme right too. And it's just people like me just get a little burnout on it. If you want to change the logo, okay, we don't like the logo. It's blah, blah, blah. It's too cartoonish. It's a demean, whatever. Okay. Change the logo. But I just don't, I think something else could be worked out. I think that like Florida State and Seminoles, I haven't heard anything about that. The Atlanta Braves, are they going to have to change?
Yeah.
Is everybody, are we going to rename South Point? They're not going to,
South Point is already in the middle of that right now.
Are they?
If you've noticed on their online stuff, they've tried to take off all imagery of any of that. They've changed, the logo used to be red. They've changed on the helmet. It's white. So it's all white. So that's one of the things with the Miss Butterworth thing is that, okay, so you're saying we should take the Indians off, but now we're going to put a white dude on it. Remember what you're giving a white guy the job, or however, everything is such a silly argument with some of this stuff. Now, whether or not whatever you do with the Indians, blah blah blah, was this even voted on? Did they even put out names, Tom, or did this just come out of left field? Hey, we're naming our team. I
don't really know. I just saw it pop up on my phone. I knew they were talking about it, and they had people. I think they had people.
Hey, these are the statues they're named after.
Yeah, on the bridge. A name escapes me right now. I want to say it's the Lorraine Carnegie Bridge, but I'd have to double check. I can't remember when I've been in the city. I can't remember going across that particular one, or I've been to Cleveland 3 or 4
I'm trying
times.
to remember if I saw it too, or if we did as well. I'm not 100%.
I'm trying.
I did or not.
I'm trying to remember, but they're trying to keep the script.
I would put it this way: I
similar.
wouldn't have been looking for that. If I did go over that bridge, I could have went over it 10 times and wouldn't have been able.
Well,
to
mainly when the times I've been there, you park downtown and walk around. I know people say this or that, but it's a very safe city to walk around in the downtown area. I'm sure there's, based on what I've read, there's areas you don't want to be in, but what city doesn't have those? Right. But in the downtown area, I felt it was very clean. It's very walkable. Nice place to go hang out. They got a little casino downtown, and the ballpark, the football stadium and the baseball stadium aren't that far from each other. So everything's kind of right there downtown. So when I've gone, it's been for sports, and I just kind of park down there. I don't like to drive in my own city, Terry. I don't like to drive in Shelby. So
how long will it take you, Tom, to they're the Guardians? How long will it take you just to say that?
Terry, look at what I'm wearing today.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to be able to do that.
I just remember like I was a kid. I think it was Channel 43 that used to have the games, and they used to have this little silly, the Cleveland Indians. They had their little jingles and things. It's just
Hope Memorial Bridge. Is that right? Regarding Lorraine, there is Lorraine Carnegie Bridge.
Lorraine Carnegie. Like I say, they're the Cleveland Indians. You can call them the Cleveland Guardians 10 years from now, because Hunter's not here anymore to correct me when I call them the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah.
But 10 years from now, guess what? I'm going to say, well, the Indians, the Guardians, that's the way I'm going to be for the rest of my life.
This is such a weird...
But I'm not
saying I hate it, but it's just a random thing let's name it after a bridge.
Because
a statue on the bridge.
Again,
and I read
it's kind of like calling, if Shelby had a team, we're going to call it the Fighting Liver Mush Makers. It's just something that's associated with the city. Right. I understand the choice. I understand that, like, I don't really think the wokesters can attack that one unless they find out the engineer of the bridge actually had ties to some.
That's funny you said that, Tom.
You know?
I actually Googled that.
Yeah.
I looked him up to see, because I wanted to make a funny point or a point that if he ever did have any ties to anything, but the fact that he was a extremely wealthy architect and he's a mason, all these dudes look pretty white to me, Tom. So, we could probably find something. His name's Wilbur.
It was the 1930s.
The 1930s. I'm pretty sure.
Looking at movie reels from 1930s, I'm pretty sure everybody was white. I mean, so I mean, you can't. Well, like I said, being facetious,
Right.
but you can't. I mean, if you want to go in that direction, I'm sure that you could find some way to attack this name too, I guess is what I'm saying.
There you go,
So,
Tom.
I mean, I'm just, what I'm surprised is they didn't try to go with the Lakers, I guess because LA's got that trademarked, so, maybe you go with the Cleveland Lakers.
Well,
there's
a lot of
there.
people's making fun of it because if you've ever played any type of video game, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, whatever, on a creative team, that name's almost always on there, Guardians. Yeah. It's just one of those, and I don't know.
They tried to go with something pretty, harmless. I think benign. Not going to get anybody mad. I think that's the direction they would. This isn't going to get anybody mad, and the population of Cleveland will like it because it's the Cleveland thing.
She just named on the Browns. If that had named on the Browns, people would have loved it.
I don't think that would have been a good idea.
She named on the Browns.
Because
so, Tom, is this your last time you'll be wearing this shirt? You're going to put it in
I think
a picture frame up on your wall?
I think I'm going on a.
Think of it.
I'm going on a binge. I'm already depressed because the team's not very good this year.
What you should do.
But I'm going to go on an Indians shirt binge.
I was about to say.
Wear my Indian shirt.
What you should do is go on a shopping, a trade market, flea market, shopping spree. And try to find all the Wahoo and Indians gear you can. I mean, it's not even Wahoo now. It's Indians. That's the thing. So anything you can find, Tom, old or any of that is going to be worth something, whether it's to you or to someone else at some point. You can sell that on. You can tell Anna she can make a living selling old Indians gear on eBay.
That kid makes way more money than me as it is.
Think about it. There's going to be a ton of stuff to be able to sell. Everything is now retro. Same thing's going to be with the Redskins stuff.
Well, I'm just worried about being arrested by the woke police today. Am I in danger, Terry? I might be arrested. I wonder if they have like little vans they'll throw you in the back of and make you eat vegan food. Yeah. And, the woke police going to get you, going to make you eat vegan food and take you to the recycling center.
Well, Chris Paul's pushing that fake meat stuff right now. If you're wondering about that, just. I don't know what to say about it.
But seriously, Kevin, I'm not even mad. It's one of those things that it's like, okay, whatever. You did it. I'm kind of a tradition. I'm very traditional type person. So, other people say, no, Tom, you're wrong. This is a racist name. Blah blah blah. It's like, okay,
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's just like when Washington changed their names. To me. And I'm going to be out there and I'm going to tell everybody like it is. To me, it's a joke. Yeah, because, I sit back now and as a Cowboy fan who never liked Washington anyway, good
Terry,
job.
Terry, you're next.
Well, I'm just
They're going to say
telling
Cowboys used to kill the Native Americans.
Well, I sit back now and the first thing when people start talking, man, don't even talk to me. You don't even have a name. So, you have no mascot. You're nothing. All you are is a letter on your. You know what I'm saying? That's how I do all the Redskins
I'm to the point where I think I'd be fine with it. With the Washington football team, the San Francisco football team, the Dallas football team, I'm fine.
That's what it's all going to end up coming to.
You know why? Because I'm just sick of it. I know this country we've made progress. We need to make. I understand all that. You can always push for more equality, and I'm never going to be against that. But I don't know, Terry. I just don't. I guess this was never an emotionally charged issue for me, and it's still not. Like, I'm not one of these people that's going to go on Facebook and rant and how everybody's stupid and all that. And I'm still going to pull for my team, and it is what it is. But it's just I think we're just pissing in the wind.
I'd ask for
word. I don't think this is going to make a difference.
If I was a fan,
I just don't think it's going to make.
I'd want new colors too. I'm like, look, if we're doing all this, I want completely different. I don't want anything to look anything like the Cleveland Indians because you guys said this wasn't good enough, this wasn't right. So I want completely different colors, uniforms. I don't even want to look like it, but whatever. That's how. But if the word Indians is almost in it, if you take off the, it's 2 letters off. It's 75% still the same name.
They wanted something, I think, because the script, like they have the ones with the block letters and the block Cleveland, but that's their script Indians or Cleveland kind of looks like that. So they kept it similar, I guess, because the people with the old Indian stuff, it'll blend in.
That's why I was saying that.
If
I was a fan, I'd be like, no, I want different color, different everything.
Yeah. What they gonna do? Ban you from coming in if you're gonna pay? No.
I wonder if they're going to ban, like, if I showed up for an Indians game in this, would I be banned?
That's what I'm saying.
I was wondering has Wahoo been banned from the stadium at all, or is that just off team stuff?
Chief Wahoo's in my class. He has a home in my classroom, by the way. till the Wokesters come by and tear it down and burn it. But he'll be up in my classroom. I mean, it's like I say, I just tip my cap to the Wokesters. You guys won this battle. Congratulations. Do you feel good? You do? Great. Whatever helps you sleep at night, man.
Now that they ended racism in baseball, they can move on to the government and the Bureau of Indian Affairs and tell the Cherokee Nation and everybody they've got to take the word Indian out of all their official stuff. Is that how this? That's the next steps, isn't it? And that's the thing about the Kaepernick thing one thing that I never got is like, have you guys seen him once at a actual police station with a group of protesters? Has he been there once? Not once has he actually been to a police station. He was invited by a police chief in San Francisco to meet with him. He told him no.
Well, the sad thing
is, not once has he actually been to the actual station.
There are people who are really interested in social justice and do the things that are necessary to put. And some people are self-promoters. Some people are interested in social justice, and some people are into self-promotion. You could be the judge of that on that guy, right? You could be the judge. I mean, and it's sad because there are a lot of people that do, put a lot into, the social issues they believe in, and that's great. But some people are self-promoters, so.
Well, Bauer's restraining orders postponed to August 2nd. There's news on that. Some trades coming through. Braves get some hitting help, not pitching. Angels striking out. Angels are being sued. They're having all kinds of problems. They're being sued. You remember the guy, and I said a couple years ago, remember the guy that died, the pitcher that died? And they come back and it's basically he died from whatever one of the trainers had given him, some type of supplements and stuff. And they're being sued for that. So there's a lot of things going on with them. I wouldn't trust anything in Anaheim pulling up the standings as well. Tom, are the Guardians going to make a playoff run?
They are not.
Well, here's what I don't. If it's such a bad thing, why don't we just start right now?
What are you talking about?
Not start calling them the Indians. Take it off. It says it right there on the standings. Cleveland Indians. That is awful. That is terrible. Let's take it off the standings. Well, but it's not until 6 months. Is that like the coronavirus curfews? You got to be in 11, but 10:58. You guys.
I mean, no offense, but if you want to, kind of disregarding what he said, if you can't beat anybody, no disrespect, Terry, but the Kansas City Royals and the Detroit Tigers, you're not going to make a playoff run. That's kind of where Cleveland is right now. I mean, if they play somebody good, they play Oakland. I think they lost 2 or 3 or 3 or 4. They play Tampa Bay. They get beat. I mean,
Detroit
had
won 7 in a row.
Yeah.
Until last night, they played the Royals.
I mean, or the Minnesota Twins. I mean, if you beat the bottom feeders, you're supposed to beat them. But when you play somebody good, you play Oakland and you get beat. You play Tampa, you get beat. You can't beat anybody that's any good. Why are you worried about the playoffs? Worry about your farm system. Who's your talent?
How many games you back in for the wild card?
I think we're 5 or 6 back.
Wild card 6 back. I'll pull up standings here for you.
I think for the division, maybe 9 back, 9.5.
10.5.
Is it 10.5 now?
9 in the division.
Okay.
I mean, no. They're
I get ready to say you get back there in our bunch of the 10.5 or beyond.
So there's the wild card race. Now, guys,
we're only 14 back.
If I ask you to guess what's the number one story on the baseball page, What would you say? I know you can see it right there.
What's Ohtani doing there?
No, that's not the. It's kind of the story. It's kind of the story. But I just showed you the standings, remember? The story is how to get Ohtani and Trout into the playoffs this year. The two best players in baseball. Now, now which one is it? Now here's my question. I'm going to ask my friend Casey here today on Twitter. Who's the best player on the Angels?
I believe it's Ohtani, and that's not debatable.
And I will get debated heavily on Twitter about that, Tom.
Yeah.
Heavily.
Did you see Stephen A's comment that he had to walk back on Ohtani? Did you see that, Kevin?
Yeah, he said he couldn't be the face of America's game because he said it badly. His point was that he probably can't be the face because of of the English. So, American fans want to be able to speak English.
I don't care what Stephen.
But that was just a terrible way of trying to make a weird point.
I'm sorry, but I just find that hilarious.
Yeah, he's more
based on what you have said is wrong with, and then you say something like that.
Do you know how much he gets paid?
Too much. Whatever he's making.
You ready?
Is too much.
No, he's in the millions.
$12 million a year.
Oh yeah.
So let's break that down.
Yeah.
That's $1 million a month, right? That's $250,000 a week. $50,000 a day.
All I'm saying is
for Stephen A. Smith to come on there.
What he said about Ohtani.
And say things.
What he said about Ohtani tells you everything you need to know about Stephen A. Smith, doesn't it? Tells you it tells you everything you need to know about him.
But everybody wants to hear him.
Yeah.
$50,000 a day. You could hire 300 people for $50,000 a piece and probably come up with a way better company and the way things work around there.
I just think it's how people claim to have principles, but they just have a hard time living up to them, don't they, Terry? They have principles, but you just can't live up to them, can you?
So the number one baseball story is how the Angels with Ohtani and Mike Trout can get it. Man, ESPN, this is their Mike Trout's promotional department. And let's look over here on the wild card standings, Tommy. 7.5 games out. They're worse than you guys by a game and a half. 2 games under 500. We are talking about the 12th or 10th out of 15th place team in the American League. We've got to get these guys in the playoffs. Got to get these guys in the playoffs. Got to make some money.
But if they don't make it, here's the difference though. If they don't make it, no big deal because they haven't made it in forever. But now, if you jump over into the National League and say Atlanta Braves, people are very disappointed. Because they're going to say they should be there. They're going to say it's a big disappointment. If Angels don't make it, that's what happens every year.
All right. So if we're naming our Native American teams after bridges, does that mean the Braves are now going to be the Atlanta Spaghetti Monsters? Because are they going to be named after Spaghetti Junction down there? That's what we're doing, right? The Atlanta Spaghetti Monsters. Kids know those.
I think they should be called the O'Haras.
O'Haras.
The Atlanta, after Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind.
Was she from Atlanta?
That wouldn't cause any
Was
controversy.
she from Atlanta? Oh, God, Tom.
That would not cause any controversy at all.
Well, Cardinals are 8 games out of a playoff spot in the wild card.
Well, they're the same way. They're 7th place.
They're
down.
right in the middle of nothing. Yeah. At least we're better than the Angels. That's all that matters.
I do think, though, that what Ohtani is doing is just so remarkable. I don't even think you need to.
Has he hit a home run since the All-Star break?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think he's still at 34.
Well, I tell you, I think that in that home run derby at first he was a little nervous. He's like, he calmed down, started doing better, but
he never made it out of the first round.
What's that?
He never made it out of the first round.
Terry, did you watch the first round?
Yeah,
did you see it go? Did you see it? Did you see it go into?
Beat him.
Did you go into overtime?
Yes.
Did you see it go into overtime?
I watched every bit of that because I picked Soto to beat him.
Yeah, he was a little, and so I was impressed with Soto though. Soto hit 3 in a row. That was, it was 3 pitches and he hit every one out of the park, and then Ohtani couldn't hit his first one out. But that was, for me it was fun. It's just a little too long. But what he's done, it's hard to compare anybody in baseball.
Why can't you just hit to get 3 outs?
But now, what I'm asking you, though, is like right now.
Then it wouldn't take
Right.
We spoke.
Well, you want to give the fans their money's worth, Kevin, without taking it forever.
One guy hitting 28 home runs in the first inning.
That was impressive.
It is impressive. But
Impressive.
it kind of ruins it. Like, so what are you going to do in round 2? Or what are you going to do in round 3? Are you tired yet?
The two most impressive things were Soto hitting 3 in a row out in overtime. And then Alonso just, I mean,
I didn't watch the end of that one.
He needs 5. I mean, Terry hit like 7 or 8 in a row out.
I watched that when Soto
impressive.
beat Ohtani, and then I turned it off.
So, Tom, you watched all those home runs, right?
I watched the first round, and then I stepped away. I came back, and I watched the end of it.
So, got a quick kind of follow me if you can. A lot of home runs. They broke a lot of records. Hit him far, right? What is the difference from what you saw then to what Mark McGwire and Canseco and Griffey and Bonds were doing in the 90s?
Well, see, they were doing it against real pitching, though. See,
No. I mean, like, as far as the home run derbies, like, it's not like McGwire hit 50 in a round. They're breaking.
Okay.
I was saying they're hitting more than he is. So, are the supplements they're using better than the steroids they had, and it don't matter what they were using?
I didn't even. I didn't think of that way.
Some folks have admitted before. You know how they mess with the baseballs. I think they use different bats in this as well. And I don't. What was cool about the baseballs? You see them; they're all signed. So, like, each player signed the bucket of balls. So every ball that got hit into the stands or something was signed by that player. I thought that was the coolest thing they could do. Now, you probably had a few that messed up their signature when they hit it.
You didn't realize how long it would take to sign that many baseballs?
Yeah, they probably had to sign 100 balls each. But I just making the point of, we'll throw up our skirts over McGwire and Bonds and Sosa. And then we talk about that all the time, like, well, they did this and they cheated the game and they took these supplements. But then today, the guys are still taking supplements. They're still working out. They're hitting more home runs per team and per league by far. So is it bad that if a few guys were hitting extra home runs and the league went up a little bit and they were using steroids, but if the whole league goes up, Tom, and hitting more than the steroid guys were, then what's going on? So there's a lot of smoke in the baseball's fires in their. There's a lot of fires, I think, in their player health department.
Yeah, well, when you're thinking of that, and we talk about Ohtani, and we talk about Trout, and we talk about guys who hit home runs, and name me the Giants who's hit more home runs than anybody in Major League Baseball. Name me their players.
Yeah, Madison Bumgarner.
Well, I mean,
he don't even play for them.
No, he plays for them. Yeah, I get ready to say he don't play.
That's what
he
I'm saying.
Play for them anymore.
But I mean, you know what I'm saying? There you go. Name me the players on that team that lead Major League Baseball in home runs. Well, people are not even saying anybody from the Giants. They know they're in first place.
Their best hitter's batting 286.
Team ball, Terry.
It is
team ball.
Brandon Crawford's leading in average home runs, RBIs, everything. Brandon Crawford's leading in everything.
Yeah, I would rather have a team like that. And same thing with basketball. I would rather have a team that I had 15-point scores amongst 5 or 6 guys than have a guy that averaged 30 and the rest of them averaged 15. I mean, I would rather have that.
Well, you're talking about then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys of 10 home runs or more. 8, 9, 10 guys, 3 more guys of 9 more. So there's your Giants. Crawford is leading in every stat across the board for them. 286, 18 homers, 58 RBI.
18 homers, and we don't mention them,
Isn't this weird, though? But I click on team leaders, and it doesn't list WAR. But if I talk best player in baseball, I have to talk WAR. It's weird. I don't get it. It just doesn't say it. And then they were having an argument the other day about the WAR thing. Is Ohtani, how much can Ohtani get? Can he catch Trout? I'm like,
well, another thing too. We're speaking of Ohtani. He's still at 34, I think. He hasn't hit one since we've come back.
I thought he had 33 at the break, Terry.
I thought he had 34. I might be wrong.
I don't know.
I might be wrong. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is if he comes up and he don't hit but 10 the rest of the year, is that great for him?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
He doesn't even take batting practice. He does not take
that's
batting
not what
practice.
I'm saying. I'm saying if you hit that many at the start of the year.
Could you imagine if he practiced?
What
Jerry?
was it? The home run derby destroyed him for the rest of the year?
What?
I mean,
Here's
what
he's saying.
happened?
Tom, Earl Hershiser, back for the Indians. You had a good year pitching.
Yeah.
And you only hit 44 home runs on your off days.
Yeah.
That's not a good
You're
day.
terrible.
That's a terrible season.
You're terrible.
Terry's
not
leading
what I'm
baseball in
saying.
home runs.
I know he is,
Okay.
but he hasn't hit any since I think the All-Star break. So I mean, what does that mean? It's a disaster if he only hits 10 more?
It's not a disaster if he hits 10 more.
I don't know, Tom.
Terry, if any
You
of your-
peaked and then you failed, buddy.
Oh God.
Holy cow.
If any
Holy
of your
cow.
pitchers hit more than 2 home runs, they had a good season.
So it's like if I'm pitching
He's hit 40.
and I get 20, but I lose 6 out of my last 7 pitching. Okay, I peaked and now I cannot do anything, so I don't need to be in the playoffs because I'm going to lose.
Terry, people make the All-Star team every year that suck the second half of the season.
Cal Ripken made the All-Star team every year and back way beyond when he should have
That's
been
on
made.
kind
Yeah.
of people vote.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right.
Is it a bad year, Tom, if he leads baseball if your pitcher leads baseball in home runs? That's what Terry just
Well,
asked.
it's not. It's not because
Is
he's
it a bad year?
It's not
if your
gonna
number
be.
4 starter led baseball in home runs.
if he hits but 10 more, he's not going to lead Major League Baseball in home runs.
He's only had, since the All-Star break, 6 games, and he's had 4 hits. So he's struggled a little bit.
Oh,
since
so the home
Not
run
all- not
derby
all.
destroyed him.
Was that not? I mean, it's not. I mean, he went last 2 games he hadn't had a hit. I'm not saying he's awful.
But Guerrero, who's in second, I think, hit two about the first game he come back.
Yeah, but you know the difference between Guerrero and Ohtani?
Still 2 home runs.
Ohtani doesn't take batting practice, okay?
And Ohtani's pitching.
Yeah, he's pitching, you know?
What does that have
And he
to do
started
with
the
anything?
All-Star game. What does that have to do with it?
I don't-
Terry, this
you
is
can't.
not high school, Terry.
Gronkowski don't even have to go out there, but he can step back out there with Tom Brady and be an all-star every game.
How are we talking about Gronkowski?
Well,
We're
I'm just
talking about
saying.
baseball.
I know we are, but I'm just saying in sports,
How
you
could
don't have
compare,
to go out there.
How could you
and
compare
practice.
the talents of Gronkowski
What
to the
did Allen
talents
Iverson
of
said?
Ohtani?
This is just practice.
How
This is just practice.
he is comparing
You don't do it.
Gronkowski's talents to Ohtani's.
Iverson said it all, Tom. This is practice.
He is putting. Look, how could you even make that comparison? That Gronkowski takes a year off to let his brain heal.
Just play
And he-
Allen
and-
Iverson, and that'll shut Tom up. This is practice. Does
And he
not mean
comes
anything.
out with Tom Brady and he catches what did he catch? 30 or 40 passes this year. And you're comparing that to a guy who's pitching, started the All-Star game pitching, and was leading the American League in home runs. And you are comparing those two. That is the Terry.
But, I mean,
that's
y'all
the
sitting
dumbest
here
thing I've ever
telling
heard.
me
This is dumb.
that you have to
This is dumb.
practice to be good. Well, no, you do not. No,
Terry.
you do not. They are players out there who never practice
Terry,
that
have you
are
ever
just
played?
as good.
Have you ever played baseball?
Why, yes.
Well, then you can sit here and tell me what's one of the hardest things to do in all of sports? Hit a round ball with a round bat.
Hardest thing to do.
Okay,
in
one of the
any sport
hardest
is
things to
hit
do: hit a round
fastball
ball
that
with
somebody
a round
throws
bat,
really hard. 'cause that
and
thing's a mover.
and the guy's pitching, and you're like,
Hey, we
it's
got
no big deal.
We got more silliness and more other things to talk about coming up on KTC. We've got NASCAR. Terry's got some splaining to do. Splaining to do, Terry. You got splaining to do. Then we
Took
got.
his wife out for dinner.
Oh God. Then we got NBA Finals to
Gronkowski,
discuss.
really? Gronkowski.
We got it.
We're talking about Ohtani. He brings up Gronkowski.
We're talking about Allen Iverson.
We'll be right back.
When is being different a good thing? Well, at Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City, our customers say we're different. Look at our Google reviews. They say we're different too. We have the region's only non-commissioned sales force. We use no haggle, clear choice pricing, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. When our customers leave, they say, that was a great experience. And that's where we're most different. That's Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram, and we're located in Forest City.
Take advantage of a special offer on the versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. You own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, off Highway 74 at Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain. Today's power broadcast of high school baseball is being brought to you by Piedmont Lithium, featuring power with tomorrow in mind. Piedmont Lithium is helping power the local economy by helping power the next generation of electric vehicles. Yes, the future of Cherryville and Gaston County is positively electric. Piedmont Lithium is creating a powerful partnership with the citizens of Cherryville and Gaston County in mind. Power up with Piedmont Lithium. Visit them online at PiedmontLithium.com.
Before you buy, give Seller Service Center in Cherryville a try. Garen and Jordan invite you in. Compare their service, but best of all, compare their prices. From a tune-up to an oil change, plus they're a North Carolina inspection station and a certified U-Haul dealer. And be sure to check their prices on your next set of tires. Seller Service Center on the Dallas-Cherryville Highway. Open 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Closed Saturday and Sunday. Seller Service Center.
No matter what you need to keep your home cool and comfortable, Settle Heating and Air has it. From complete Comfort Maker cooling systems to the latest in Wi-Fi capable thermostats, they have everything you need to stay comfortable. That's why you should make Settle Heated and Air your first call and your only call for all of your cooling needs. Call 704-481-1788 or find them online at settlehvac.com so you can settle in with comfort. Comfort Maker, comfort with confidence. Celebrating lives and healing grieving hearts. That's the theme of the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Falston and the Stamey Cherryville Funeral Home on Dixie Street in Cherryville. Their staff is committed to providing your family with the highest quality care and service in your time of need. For more information, visit the websites at StameyTysingerFuneralHome.com and StameyCherryvilleFuneralHome.com, both giving you the gift of comfort for you and your family. Summit Place of Kings Mountain, where you get exceptional senior living experiences. Summit Place offers warmth and hospitality, dining and nutrition, and health and wellness programs. Summit Place balances social, physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual health, from personal care to medication management and support. Ask about their assisted living plans and memory care too. Summit Place, 1001 Pfeiffer Road in Kings Mountain, online at summitplaceofkingsmountain.com. Tour and experience Summit Place today.
When is being different a good thing? Well, at Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City, our customers say we're different. Look at our Google reviews. They say we're different too. We have the region's only non-commissioned sales force. We use no haggle, clear choice pricing, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. When our customers leave, they say, that was a great experience. And that's where we're most different. That's Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram, and we're located in Forest City.
One. Friendship Nissan, 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661. See our friends at Friendship.
Big news. If you're a college football fan, this week, yesterday, really kind of coming across the boards, and we're going to get into it in just a sec. Texas and Oklahoma are announcing, guys, that they are moving to the SEC.
Do they realize they're not in the eastern part of the country? At least the Big
Wasn't
Ten.
Texas the wild west?
Yeah, I thought it was the southwest, part of the southwest, or at least the South Plains.
Listen, geography's hard, Tom. They don't teach that. They don't teach that in liberal arts classes.
Well, are they going to boot anybody out of the SEC?
No.
They're not going to do that, but Texas A&M does not like the move of them coming over.
No, Texas A&M left to get away from those for their markets and everything, so they could compete with market wise. So now, with them coming over, Texas A&M's the only one that voted no.
Yeah, they do not like that.
They voted no. So we don't know if A&M's going to be like, bye SEC. I'm going back to the Big 12. Yeah. Or the Big 8. The other 8 schools, Tom, have said they're going to stay together for right this second, but they're all looking at contingencies. Pac-12 obviously have called some of them to see what's up. So
basically, what you're going to end up with is like 16 or 18 team conferences, which are really 2 conferences in one.
Right.
That's what you're going to end up with.
That's the end. I think that's the end goal is 6. It is going to be 2 to maybe 3 16-team conferences. Then everybody else is kicked out. So if I'm teams like Appalachian State right now, I'm calling the SEC today because they've already put on here that North Carolina should be calling the SEC just in case the ACC got split up. Is what they're afraid that it could get split up. But if Clemson were to jump, is what they're saying. If Clemson jumped to SEC, should North Carolina go too?
Why would Clemson do that?
I don't know. One of the North Carolina schools would not surprise me, and it'd be smart if they did. You've got 4 ACC schools in one state. Is there any other conference like that that's got, big, I don't know, I guess Texas, the Big 8 or whatever it is now, with Baylor and all of them, some of them might have. But that's a lot of schools in one conference, and the SEC don't have any in it. So somebody from North Carolina is going to be making that call. It's going to end up in the SEC, whether it's does North Carolina jump and like you said, why would Clemson? But what about North Carolina, Duke, State? Terry, if I'm you guys, honestly,
why would we do that?
Because the way you guys have been treated, do you get to play Carolina Duke twice every year in basketball anymore?
No.
Do you get to play Carolina or Duke every year in football?
No.
Okay, so that's my point. Is that's the way you've been treated? Is that the ACC has gotten to the point where they overlook NC State, and there's no. And if you guys said we're going SEC right now, boom, you're getting SEC recruits as opposed to ACC recruits, the 4th or 5th best team. Yeah, it might be 4th, 5th best SEC, but is that not better for you guys if you could do to everybody in the state and be like, we're the only school in North Carolina that's SEC?
Not really.
If I said that to another school, I think State should be the best candidate. Wake Forest ought to maybe try too, just because of the geography they're away and they're a private school. But State probably wouldn't do it because of the triangle thing. Unless Carolina decides to go too. But if that means all 3 of them, I think, would go. And
all they've done with
behind.
The teams is in the ACC, they split them. That's the biggest thing. They put State and Wade over in one, Carolina and Duke in the other. So that's why you do not play them every year.
Right. And I don't like that. I mean, how do you split up the triangle? The 3 closest teams are all within 30 minutes of each other, and we split that up. Instead of sending Wake Forest or whoever, wherever. That was the geography thing. Let's look at the conferences. Let's look down at the SEC. Right now, they've got 16, Tom. So somebody said that Vanderbilt needs to be, looking over their backs.
Vanderbilt should go to the Big 12 where they can compete.
But I pulled it up. I've got the stat in one of these stacks of sheets that only 5 schools have won an SEC championship in the last 30 years, I think is what it was, or 40 years maybe since I've been alive. So the other 9 haven't done anything.
They're irrelevant.
Right.
They're not relevant.
So
and that's just football-wise.
So a lot of people are saying Arkansas might say we're out. We're going to the Big 12.
Geographically, that makes more sense.
So Arkansas is one of the ones they're talking about. Texas A&M getting back out. Like I said, if I'm Appalachian, I'm making calls. ACC.
Would you do that just for football?
What?
I mean, Arkansas, baseball-wise, top of the SEC. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, would you do that just for football?
They do everything just for football. I mean, I get what you're saying, but they're not.
Baseball's not the moneymaker.
Carolina would do it, Terry. If the SEC and them can't give them enough money.
Yeah, well, a lot of. Well, I mean, ACC has their own networks too, so I don't think they may be drawing in as much money as the SEC maybe, but
not for football. Probably definitely in basketball, I would guess. Look, so Texas has got their own network. Period. You wouldn't want to get in the ACC, like I said, with 4 schools in the conference. If I'm them, I'm calling the Big 10. I'm calling the SEC. Or maybe even the Big 12. Maybe they even want to expand that to that far. They got West Virginia, don't they? Are they the Big 12?
West Virginia's.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're already here, that would be a good rivalry with App and West Virginia. So here's the Big 12 right now: Iowa State. How about Oklahoma State sitting there just losing two big rivalries? And they asked a spokesman for Texas that didn't want to be named, or whatever, said, they asked him, "What do you think about the other schools?" And he said, "We don't really care." That was what the Texas
It's all
guy
about
said.
me, baby.
It's
all about them dollars.
So Iowa State, Oklahoma State, TCU, West Virginia, who's nowhere near any of these schools, Kansas State, Texas Tech, Baylor, and Kansas remain in the Big 12. Terry and Tom, trivia question. Who is the last Big 12 team to be ranked number 1 overall?
Baylor.
Wrong.
Oklahoma.
Wrong.
Ranked number 1.
Yep.
Iowa State.
I don't have the exact year, but I got the team right here on the thing. I can look it up if I need to.
Texas Christian.
No, y'all got all around. Y'all going all around. Y'all got states and y'all got y'all over
TCU
4.
was pretty good. At one
Kansas
time.
State.
There you go. The
Kansas
Wildcats were number 1 in the BCS a few years back. Oregon 2, Notre Dame 3, Alabama 4, and Georgia 5, Florida 6. And I don't have the year, but it was just it was Kansas State retweeting. It was the Kansas State account. With all this talk of realignment, don't forget that Kansas State was the last Big 12 member to be ranked number 1. Y'all, good luck to y'all trying to be king of the SEC. A&M was 8, South Carolina 9, Florida State 10.
Well, see, now there's Kansas State putting that out there, but also Kansas State don't go play top-notch teams.
Out of conference.
Terry, they were ranked number 1 overall in the BCS.
Well, I know that. But who did they play? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't care. I don't care.
Their conference.
Well, I know that, but I'm
Texas,
just saying
Oklahoma
That's
State.
not what I'm saying. Who did they play outside of conference that they beat, but it wasn't somebody from the SEC? Like Oklahoma will go play top-notch teams. Texas will go play top-notch teams. Did Kansas State go play top-notch teams? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm asking. If you beat Oklahoma, okay, we get up for that game, and we get up for Texas, so we get up for 2 games all year when the rest of our conference is nothing.
Well, who's Alabama beat every year?
You know. Well, that's true. That's true.
They
I
play 2
agree.
games
I'm
every
with
year.
you. But they also have to face Georgia. I mean, then you start naming off SEC teams that they have to face. But now, some of the years that they did not have to face any of them teams, so Georgia and them only come around ever so often. So, I mean, that's just what I'm asking.
I don't know the schedule of the 2013 Kansas State Wildcats, Terry.
Okay. That's what I'm asking.
In 1998, finished 11-0. If that matters to you. They were 10-0 on this picture.
Facts,
so that must have been 98.
Facts don't matter. He has alternative facts.
I'm just asking. Y'all
Showtime had a terrible year.
Yeah.
Got to keep producing, man. Keep producing.
Oh, goodness. But Kansas State, the last Big 12 team to be ranked number 1 overall.
Okay. No, they're two. Okay, it wasn't 2013.
Is that the year it was?
No.
It's saying 98. It's the last year they went 11-0.
It probably was 98 when you had the.
But we probably didn't have. We had ratings, but it wasn't that type of ratings that we got now.
Okay, the 1998.
It says BCS, Terry. BCS countdown. Kansas State number 1.
I agree.
1998, they were 11-2.
1998, 11-2.
Okay. Yeah, let's see, trying to see their games.
Y'all ain't showing me no facts.
Schedule.
In 1998, finished the regular season 11-0.
Yeah, they did.
Number 1 national ranking.
They did play Indiana State and Northern Illinois.
Okay.
Non-conference, and Northeast Louisiana.
Okay. No wonder. There
They
you go.
lost to Texas A&M, and they lost to a Big Ten team, Purdue.
There you go. That was probably Drew Brees, wasn't it?
98. Yeah. Yeah, they lost to Purdue.
There you go. So, Terry, I just wanted to say
they beat number 19 Missouri. They beat number 11 Nebraska. They beat number 14 Colorado that year. Unranked. Let's see here. They didn't play. They played Oklahoma. They did not play Oklahoma that year. They did not play Texas that year.
Okay.
No, they did play. Sorry, check that. They did play Texas. They beat Texas 48-7. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I can't remember when they were ranked number 1 though.
That was it.
That was the year '98 when they got beat by Texas A&M, and then they plummeted. Then they played Purdue and got beat. You don't step to the Big Ten, Terry.
The Wildcats finished the regular season 11-0.
Got beat in the championship game.
Got beat in the Big 12 championship by A&M, and then lost in the bowl game.
So who is this guy throwing this
Alamo
tweet
Bowl.
out there? He shouldn't even be talking.
Tom, the 2 games they lost were by a combined 6 points.
They got beat by Purdue, Kevin.
I know.
Did I not just say it's Drew Brees?
They still got beat by Purdue.
Terry. That's Drew Brees.
That's one man. He didn't make up for the other 10 that he's got to have out there with him.
Oh, my gosh. Yes, it was Drew Brees. Thank you very much. That's exactly who it was.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right now. The Drew Brees Purdue Boilermakers went 9-4 in the Big Ten.
I wonder what, now that you brought him up, I wonder what he's moving on to. Is he going to the broadcast booth? What's he doing?
I don't know. I think he is. I think that's where he's going.
Yeah. I saw where the Manning brothers are going to be together.
Are they calling football college football?
No, they're doing a sideshow like what they are. They're sideshows.
They're they're wannabe comedians.
They're doing a sideshow Monday Night Football broadcast
Okay.
on ESPN2.
Getting paid good money, Tom.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
More than me.
They are.
They're getting paid more than me. They can afford more of that nationwide insurance
Yeah.
than I can.
Well, Tom, if you got any comments on any more on the
switching conferences?
You want some Dabo opinions?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear what Dabo had to say. I'm sure it's really great.
You're talking about the name, image, likeness. Saban's already said his quarterback's got about over $1 million in his whatchamacallit? Endorsements. Jeez.
Yeah.
Dabo wants to shorten the season if we're going to expand the playoffs. He said nobody on their team wanted to expand to 12. He said. Mac Brown said nobody on their team wanted to expand to 12. It's weird how they just want to keep people out, Terry, isn't it? They just want to be voted in.
Well, I hate to tell them all, but I like the expanded playoffs. I think it means more to individual as fans as me.
Right.
I think you would come down as a true champion if you do that instead of me only selecting 4 to be in it. That's just me, and I'm not going to be part of that, probably, but still.
Do you not have a 19,000 times better chance now?
Yes.
To ever play for a national championship?
That's it. We could lose one game and then win the rest of them, but if we would lose like to Clemson, we would still have a chance.
Depending on how they do it, App may even have a chance, especially if we jump conferences and they start realigning conferences. You may have a chance. But, I just, the big guys, the ones the guys that get voted in, they're not someone who's always voted in and know they're always going to get voted in aren't going to want to have to compete. Terry, I've got to play 2 people. I don't know, these coaches, the way they're kind of weaseling it out, it's not surprising at all. Dabo says, problem is for me it's being driven by money, Tom.
Yeah, because Dabo's such a selfless guy. I mean, he works for just a fraction of what he's
coach
worth.
of the nation.
Come on, now.
Is
complaining
about
that
money.
they're making a decision about money.
But people come to Clemson because of Dabo. That's the bottom line.
People like screaming idiots. But anyway, I was just going to tell you, interesting that Drew Brees is going to be helping out with the Notre Dame broadcast, Kevin. He's going to be on NBC's Notre Dame broadcast.
That's every week.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good money.
How much is he getting paid?
Yeah,
more
that's
than
what I'm
us.
saying. That's good money.
More than us. He's getting paid more than us. I don't know how much.
So here's some Dabo comments. It's just awesome. When you get to that level and at that stage, you have a lot of guys who are about to play at the next level, and you say it's just one more game, and they say they say it so casually, it's just one more game. That's a lack of understanding of what it takes to win at the next level. He's worried about some of his players wanting to leave.
Okay. And also, Dabo doesn't want to play Texas. He wants to play the Citadel.
Right.
That's what it boils down to. Like,
Right.
I don't want to play an extra game against a pretty good team.
Right.
I want to play the Citadel. I want to play Wofford.
Right.
I want to play Furman. Let me play these little.
But now it's no
schools.
worse than Alabama.
Yeah.
or
No, I mean,
anybody
Alabama
else
does the
up
same
there.
thing. I mean, it's
Hey,
what
listen to this. Here we go. Dabo also said we should eliminate contests against FCC opponents, which I get.
Yeah.
But here's where he went. And Group of 5.
So he's saying he doesn't want to play any Group of 5 schools.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I can understand him saying it.
He don't want to get beat.
No, not him. Everyone. North Carolina, NC State, Duke, all of you can't play. Not just him. I'm not going to do it. He said.
So in other words, North Carolina couldn't schedule Cincinnati non-conference.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what he said.
North Carolina couldn't play App State.
Right.
Is what he wonder why.
Anything that
I bet
hurts-
Mac Brown would sign up for that one, wouldn't he, boys? How about you Tar Heel fans out there?
I'll just tell you.
I know he'll sign up not to ever have to play Appalachia State again. He ran over like a chicken because he couldn't coach up there.
They don't
want
to get
stomped
beat.
at home.
That might hurt their
They
recruiting.
don't. That's 100%.
And it hurts the recruiting.
I don't
He
want to
can't
have to play a good
He can't
game.
make his
A tough
$11 million.
East Carolina
tell you
same way.
I would have practiced on
Think
my
about
screaming idiot skills a long time ago.
I will give
If
State a
you
lot of
could
credit for playing
yeah.
it.
What?
State never had a trouble. Well, we'll schedule East Carolina. And, you know, I mean, a lot of people will not. Carolina
Listen,
don't like
one of those
scheduling it.
games is fine, but I don't want Alabama playing. Like if NC State plays Appalachia State, that has no national championship ramifications whatsoever. But Alabama wants votes to be in the national championship. Why are you playing Western Carolina? That's one of the major issues I have is that y'all got two different goals. You got to get there before you start, doing that. And then if you want to play one a year, I get that. But these guys play 3. Like Tom said, he plays 4. He wants to play the Citadel. He don't want to play Texas. He don't want Ohio State moving to the ACC.
Just for fun, okay. I'm gonna give them a little credit. They're gonna play Georgia Labor Day weekend. Then they play South Carolina State.
Mm-hmm.
But he's saying he didn't want to play FCS schools. But why South Carolina State?
He schedules them. He voluntarily schedules them, Tom.
Okay.
But remember that. That's like the big business guys saying they want government regulation, but they won't do it themselves.
Right. Yeah.
I want someone else to tell, because what they do is if you tell everyone else, it actually benefits them.
Yeah, that's the only September 19th of last year they beat the Citadel 49-0. Way to go. Yeah.
You got this year's schedule? Is that what
This
you're
year
looking at?
they open up with Georgia, then they have South Carolina State, then Georgia Tech, NC State, Boston College, Syracuse, Pittsburgh, Florida State, Louisville, Connecticut, Wake, and South Carolina. So I guess they're playing an extra conference game in the ACC, which is good. I'm glad they're doing that, but that's because they made him do it. If they didn't make him play an extra ACC school, they got to go. Connecticut's coming to Death Valley.
To me, though, it's 100% weird also, though. We're at a point when if we're going to have 15, 16 teams in a conference, why can't you just play all conference
Yeah, that's
games?
what I would do. I mean, get rid of South
when you only had
Carolina
8 in the conference area, you have to play a non-conference. But you got 16 teams. Why are you want to be in the SEC? You want to talk about how great it is? We'll play the SEC. Why are you playing Citadel? Why are you playing Western?
Good question.
Yeah, but would you schedule? Would that be fair?
What?
I don't understand how that would be fair. Because if you had 16 teams and they split, one year you might have a very tough schedule of playing Georgia, Alabama. I'd say throw in Kentucky or somebody take us an alternate. But then the next year you'd have nobody. You play Vanderbilt, Missouri. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be tough.
Terry.
Huh?
Fair, Terry, is a
Fair
place
territory.
you go to judge pigs.
Well, I mean, okay, then when Alabama come up and playing nobody, we shouldn't have no problem listening to people complain.
No, what do you mean playing nobody? They're playing SEC football.
I know, but they'd be playing nobody.
SEC football, Terry. You can't just say two things.
You'd be
That's what they
lead at the
do.
top 6 or 7, and then them other
We got 11
9.
games.
Well, I'm just saying the other 9 would be nothing.
So you're saying you'd rather them play Citadel than Mississippi State?
No, I think that you ought to see. That's tough because I mean, who do you go play?
Yeah.
I mean, really, who are you going to stick in
The
your
playoffs
class?
are for what's out of conference.
Yeah, but if you're going to
That's
stick
what out of
three
conference
teams,
is for, is the playoffs.
The only thing I like is what Clemson is doing here. So you don't have you got South Carolina on your schedule. That's every year because you know you're going to play them. Now you've added Georgia. So that's another stout team that you're going to have to beat. And I think that every team, if you've got 3 non-conference, stick in one tough team in there, either at home or away, that you're going to have to beat to get there. I mean, you know, because I mean,
I want 4 conference games. You want 1 hard game and 3 easy ones.
Well, at least wanting 1 out of 3.
But your
instead
conference
of
is
playing
supposed to be good.
Citadel, Western, and somebody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At least give me a tough one in there somewhere.
Well, you can't help who's good.
Well, that's true. And you never know how good App is from year to year. I mean, they're very consistently a winnable team, and when they go to bowl games, they win. But that's another thing that bothers me, is Appalachian, to me, has proven we defeated everybody. Quit putting us against Troy or Arkansas Little Rock every year when it comes to the tournament
They
play.
put them against teams that are already beat and prove they're better than.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Put them up against somebody. Put them up against a Georgia or a South Carolina or a North Carolina if they go to a bowl game. That way there's a lot of recognition that you just beat them again.
Those schools won't play them, though.
Yeah, but that should not be allowed at that time. We're putting you in a place.
I know.
I just read a little blurb there too. SEC heavily targeting Clemson.
So
that's the end of the ACC football if Clemson leaves that conference. I will say that.
I don't think Clemson will leave because they looking at it. We're on top in football anyway. The big thing we get out of the ACC is basketball-wise.
They won't even play. Yeah.
And they're pretty good in baseball.
So out of conference, they got UConn, South Carolina State, and Georgia.
Yeah, that's
and South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina. So that's 2 out of 4. I mean, South Carolina's up and down. You never know what you're going to have there. But Georgia's pretty stout every year.
So he said that he didn't want to play any Group of 5 or FCS, but yet 2 are on his schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And both at home. He ain't going up to Connecticut. I don't think Davo knows where Connecticut is on a map.
Yeah.
A lot of politicians
pretty sure he couldn't find it.
A lot of politicians say we should raise taxes across the board, and they don't voluntarily pay their own.
No, absolutely.
Or pay more. You can pay more taxes if you want, can't you, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, that's one thing that I like that North Carolina State has done because state schedule's coming up. We got Mississippi State. I mean, you know, I'm sitting here like, oh, Lordy, why do we schedule them? You know, I mean, because to me, a loss is a loss. You know, and us against the SEC has not been good lately. At least it's at the start of the year where nobody can opt out at the end of the year and say, I'm going on to the NFL.
I guess I just get upset with hypocrisy. I mean, it's kind of like I said, you know, the Stephen A. comment about Ohtani. Dabo saying FCS and don't play them, but yet 2 of them are on the schedule. You know what I mean? It's just the hypocrisy of people is just so blatant.
Rules for thee, but not for me.
Yeah, rules for thee. That and then, you know, it's kind of funny how you mentioned people, really rich people, not paying their taxes. And it's kind of funny because old Bezos was on TV saying, thank you, employees and customers are paying for this. And I said, don't forget the American taxpayer who paid more taxes because you don't pay any. But, you know,
that looked so much like the
crazy.
Austin Powers movie.
Oh, God.
I could not stop laughing. Here's what you talk as far as that goes. Is billionaires paying more workers would bankrupt our company. Also, billionaires check out my private space fleet. And somebody did the math on it as far as the money he spent for that 20 minutes as far as paying all of his workers. It came out to be that basically the math says that most people which are his workers aren't even as valuable as empty space. The money he spent on going to empty space was more than he spent
for 10 minutes
for all the workers in his company for that amount of time.
The funniest joke. Did you see him?
So more space is more valuable than his millions of workers.
Did you see him? Did you see him in the cowboy hat when he got back down?
Yes.
He's wearing a cowboy hat.
Yes.
And one comedian said he looks like Woody and Buzz. But what's the other one? Buzz mashed together.
Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear and
They
Woody
had a baby.
mashed together. And I tell you what, man,
He's already bald. He looks just like Dr. Evil. All he needs is a scar on his face, and we're in a shaved cat, and we're there. He's got the rocket
I tell you what, though. I mean,
A cat and a scar.
I don't agree with people. I try to peacefully and cordially disagree with everybody except Terry. I'm kind of a jerk to him, but I don't want to be a hypocrite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just hypocrisy is just like, that's why anytime Dabo said this, Dabo said that. It's like, I don't want to hear anything he has to say because he's such a hypocrite. Why even listen to him? I just don't understand.
All right, let's go ahead and shift. Since I don't have a board up today, we're going to shift over to NBA right now for just a few minutes before we finish up with Terry trying to defend the NASCAR shenanigans. Anything in the NFL real quick you might want to touch on other than we can talk about this. I want to see what's going to happen with the vaccine stuff in a couple of weeks. Let it. They just come out with it this week. We'll see what happens.
You know what I wish? I almost wish the NFL played every other week to stretch out the season, so we didn't have such a long off season. Because that's all we talk about. The off season stuff. It just gets old.
My question for y'all is this: how can you have coaches, assistants, trainers, anybody that's part of your group that's there every day has to be vaccinated, but the players, theirs has to be like 80, 85%. How can you have it one way for part of your group and not the same way for all of your group?
Terry, if you've not learned in the last year and a half, there are no answers that make sense to any question you have to ask.
Okay,
I just got done making a speech about hypocrisy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But here we are again.
Again, how many professional athletes do you know have been hospitalized because of this? Yeah. How long did we go through this without a vaccine? We made it through it. So now why all of a sudden is it you're not even allowed on my field if you don't have that? There's a difference between you got a mask, we can all play together.
Yeah.
Last year we had a mask, we could all play together. So with your mask and I'm not vaccinated, you can play with me. But if I'm vaccinated and you got a mask, you can't play with me.
I'm just totally
That's what Terry's
lost
saying.
on
There's some numbers not adding up.
Yeah, and I want to mention one other thing we was talking, and it's back to Appalachian for you, Kevin. Springs, a guy that played for Appalachian State in baseball, was playing for Tampa Bay. He's like 28, 29 years old. Cool. He come in relief the other day, and I can't remember his first name, or I'd say his first name, but he come from Appalachian State.
I don't know who it is.
Yeah. But, I mean, congratulations.
Yep.
He made the Major League Baseball.
Eli Hawk from Crest this week announced he's going to Wake Forest to play
Congratulations
football.
to him. Yes. I read the article, and he said, what I liked about what he said was he had some big schools after him, too, all over the country. He said, I want to stay close to home, and I wanted a good education. So, props to that kid. Good luck.
In 2 months, Wake Forest might be in the SEC.
Yeah.
We don't even know.
But he wanted
in 2 months. They could be.
He wanted to be close to home
team.
so his family could watch him play.
Yeah.
And then he wanted a good education. And Wake Forest is known for its academics. So congratulations to him. Good decision. Glad to see people in the community successful, and it inspires other kids to do the same.
All right, let's talk a little NBA basketball. Bucks win the finals. And
I just want to hear Skip's Giannis theory now. The Bucks are better without Giannis. I wonder how he's gonna walk. How are you gonna walk that back when he had 50 in the clinching game?
So
it took him 2 games to get used to him being back on the floor.
Here's all the talks.
Is that what he's gonna say?
Why would he not?
So here's the questions and talks of everything going through. Is Giannis now the best player? Are the Bucks the best team again? Are they the favorites? And the big rumors are who's going to join LeBron in LA. So the rumors are they're trying to sign and trade for Westbrook, or they're trying to get Chris Paul there. Kawhi Leonard has been that's come out that said that he is open to moving from the Clippers. Dallas and the Lakers are the favorites for Kawhi. So you could have next year. Are also wanting to go to the Lakers in the long list of people is Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan want to team up together again like they were in Toronto, but they want to play with LeBron on the Lakers and try to get them a ring. So
I like the backstory though that Giannis did it without saying, "Hey, go get me a superstar."
Yes,
Holiday and Middleton are good players, especially Holiday on defense. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you didn't have to go. I got to go to Dallas, or I got to go to LA. I got to go to New York. I got to go to a huge market, write the checks, get all like Brooklyn's doing. It didn't have to do that, and I think it is. I think it is a great story that Milwaukee, smaller market, did it with one tremendous player and good players around him.
And they won a series with Giannis not even on the court.
Our society is an instant gratification society.
Very much so.
So, and people don't understand no matter what, for the most part, in the NBA, leaders of basketball teams, the best players, don't win a championship till you're 25, 26, 27 years old. LeBron, Giannis, Jordan, all at 26, 27, right in that area. And those are the three best players we've probably seen in a long time, best athletes in a while. So if only those three guys takes to 25, 26, you know how Luka Doncic is.
Yeah, 22.
And there's people on TV
22.
saying he should demand a trade now. For what? We ain't even got 2 years. Think about it. If I draft Luka and I nail his draft pick, which they did, right? I still, if I say we're the Hornets and we got him, we'd still have to nail the next 2 or 3 to have a good team.
Is Luka old enough to buy a beer?
Yeah, he's 22.
He's 22.
Oh, he's 22.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's 22.
Right. I mean, he's a kid.
Yeah.
So
it's give him a
so
break.
not only does it take that guy, then it takes a few years. So the whole thing with and this is what LeBron's thing was that he didn't want to sit around and do that. He didn't want to build teams in Cleveland. He wanted to play with his friends and just say, hey, he wanted to do that. He did the AAU thing. He brought AAU to the NBA where we just move around and play with the guys that we like. Now, that's what you're talking about there with the Giannis staying there and stuff. But and again, he's the youngest to win it like that, but it's still only by 1 year. He's still right on that in that trajectory. So it's not. These guys and these teams have to understand it's going to be 5, 6, 7 years before if you're the best player, you're going to win a championship. Then you have to stay the next 5 or 7. So you have to put the 12 years in with an organization if you're going to do that.
You don't necessarily have to the best talented players. You got to have the right players.
Yeah, the right
and I think Milwaukee had the right player. And I'll tell you what, Middleton too. How much flack does that guy catch? You listen to they're always on Middleton's case. I want to say he hit more 3-pointers in the series than any other player in the series. So, I mean, everybody's on his case all the time. Like, if he doesn't have 40 points, they're all on his case. So, I would have liked to see, I know Kevin hates him, I would have liked to see Paul get a championship because he's been around a long time and he's paid his dues. Kevin hates him. But I'm glad that Milwaukee won it. Like I said, I'm glad that, guys like Giannis and Middleton, who I think are good guys,
no matter what,
got a championship.
Chris Paul finds a way to slap another man in the man section. Look at that. Is that proof, Terry? I said before the series what he does, Tom. There's Giannis going for a dunk. And what is Chris Paul doing?
Chris Paul can't help it that Giannis is 6'11" and he's 6'1". Right. He's just putting his hands up.
Putting his hands where, Tommy?
How fast is Giannis moving at that moment,
In his manhood. 2 hands in the manhood. I said it before the series what Chris Paul did. No, he's loving it. Chris Paul's liking everything.
He don't want to get hit in the face with his junk is what it is. He's like, no.
He said, I need to foul this guy before he dunks on me.
Before the series, I said Chris Paul is a habitual man region toucher and smacker. And in the series, I have a picture and photo
above the belt
of him double handing Giannis. Think about that. Chris Paul.
You know what the story was on TV? Giannis to celebrate his victory after the parade, he went to Chick-fil-A and got 50 chicken minis.
He did.
and he won't gain a pound.
All right, now and here's I guarantee part of Giannis. Remember, he's Greek, right? He's come to America.
Yeah.
He loves this country. He loves everything that's been given to him. And you see protests across the world, and they're flying American flags. One of the funniest things / saddest things I saw on the internet the other day was they went around the sky. Maybe it might have been Georgetown here in what? Ain't that in Washington D.C.? It was a school in Washington.
Yes.
They went around Georgetown asking the students, showing them clips of people in Cuba and in Hong Kong waving American flags and chanting freedom. The students, Tom, were 100% baffled as to why.
Well,
one guy goes, "We're not a socialist country. Why are they chanting for us?" Like these college students at Georgetown didn't understand why people in other countries were chanting freedom in the U.S. flag, and that's because you see on the Olympics all of our people taking knees at the flag, saying how terrible of a country it is.
I will say this: you can always make more progress. can always make more progress. I mean, don't say this country can't make more progress, and it can. But when you operate under the guise of this country has made no progress in 220 years,
everything's bad.
yeah, and it's just like if you have problems with the like all these states changing their voting laws, and people are upset about it because they feel it's making it harder. That's fine. But when you say that's Jim Crow, you don't know what Jim Crow is. You know what I mean? How bad Jim Crow was. And you're going to say, well, we'll change it. No, if you don't like that, that's fine. Petition your legislature, vote anyway, get somebody else in there that's going to make the laws. But I think people try to just ignore, they try to act like there's been no progress. When, you can make more progress. And if you look at other countries, they're well behind us on human rights and a lot of other things, even though, you can always make more progress. I do get upset when people try to act like it's a terrible country, but I also get upset if people fight for more change and more progress, people get angry at that. I'm just saying it's extremes. You know what I mean?
If it's
extremes.
This terrible racist country is the only one in the world with thousands of people of color lined up at a border and coming here. No one else is waiting in line in China to get into China. Where's that line? Is that what that is? The wall was built for dragons, by the way, to keep the dragons out. That's what it says on the walls, but they say it was the Mongols, but it was for dragons. Anyway, so that's what they're keeping out. But my point was that Giannis with the Chick-fil-A thing is just anytime I've ever talked or spoke for someone in any situation that's not from this country, they've all acted and talked like Giannis. They love it. They love being here. They love everything. They love what they can do. They love what they can say, and they have respect for it. And the way that we've been the last few years about this is just been it's disappointing and really weird. I'm sure, Terry, you see the soccer players go out there and kneel and then get hammered 3-0. You proved your point.
Yeah.
Glad you solved whatever you solved. You just got smoked. Now, does that, Terry, as an American, do they make you feel for them, or do they make you want to pull for them more when they do that? And that's just, I guess. A lot of same thing with the Indians. You guys are pulling for them, not rooting against the Indians. The racists are their White Sox because they're saying F the Indians. The racists are the Royals fans that say F the Indians. You guys are the good guys. You are the Indians. Come on, the logical. The people don't logical think about this. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about the Giannis stuff with that and how they're doing. As far as the Olympics goes, basketball starts tomorrow. I think it's 5 a.m. or something like that. They play France.
Don't take us the wrong way. I hate it when the Olympics are in Asia because of the time difference. Of the time difference. But in 2000, when it was in Australia, I hated it. Mm.
It's the same time zone.
Me being a selfish person is don't put it over there. It's bad enough when it's in Europe and they're 5 hours ahead, and then they put it in Asia and it's just all screwed.
12 hours, and you're 12, 16 hours.
You know what? I think the permanent home of the Olympics should be Canada. Just put them both in Canada. That way you can have both Olympics there, and it's always going to be on a similar time. Put it all in Canada. So I know that you got to spread the love a little bit, get over there, but the time difference really, really, and they always got about pre-recorded. You missed this while you were sleeping last night, but it is what it is.
So, any other Olympic stuff, Terry, you want to comment on before we move on a little bit? Finish up.
Well, I was disappointed that the women lost in soccer, but everything comes to an end. But every one of them says, that's probably going to make us better. You got the Netherlands coming up, but then have you been watching the softball part of it? Have you watched?
I haven't watched that. I watched Australia smoke New Zealand in soccer. Yeah. I think the Australian team's really good. But what takes away? I haven't been paying attention to softball. I know that my daughter told me America beat Italy. Yeah. I don't think I know what a softball is in Italy, so that's not really a great win. But
it's a good game to start, though.
I'm just disappointed in what the Japanese government did, basically saying we don't want other vaccines. Japan's going to come up with their own vaccine, and they didn't, and so very little of the population's vaccinated. They should have known better. They're hosting the Olympics, and now fans can't go because of the arrogance of their government.
There was
it's just to watch those events with no spectators is just terrible.
That's the kind of person I am, but there's this famous comedian that He didn't do it. Somebody posted a fake audio of the announcers at the Olympic Games in Tokyo, what you're kind of talking about.
Yeah.
And it said, announcer off mic at Tokyo. But it was fake. So
Yeah.
he was going off about, like, how we're all going to die. The only reason the pools are here is so they can just shovel us all in them and cover us up. That's why he was talking to his announcer.
I mean, it's just.
And then the comedian, it was just funny about how hard he was laughing at that. Just because it was just so over the top. The guy going nuts about it. But I get what you're saying, Tom. It seems like everything in the last 2 years that everything's been handled about awfully.
And they have, and I was wondering, I was like, why is Japan so under vaccinated? They basically said, no, we don't want, we're going to come up with our own. And then they did. And that's why they're in the situation they're in. And it's like, come on, guys, you're hosting the Olympics. Mm-hmm. Hey, we're hosting the Olympics. Let's not leave this one a chance.
All right, Tom, it's time for Terry to defend this. Let's see what he can say. Because we get texts all the time on Saturdays about Xfinity racing and Kyle Busch. We've got one Sunday this week. It's Kyle Busch time, Tom. It's Kyle Busch time.
All right.
And for 3 days, he didn't respond to a single text.
I did
after
text you
he's
back.
text, it's Kyle Busch time.
Yeah.
Terry, what kind of time was Kyle Busch time?
He just won't take his wife and children out to eat.
Oh, he's up against the wall. Oh, there you go. Now, Denny Hamlin managed not to hit the wall, and he was around cars, Terry. He dodged cars and the wall. Kyle Busch was leading and wrecked himself, Tom.
The rain.
Then he pitched a hissy fit, Tom.
Well, he should.
And I've never seen this in my life, and he should be suspended forever, kicked out of the sport. He puts the lives and safety of the pace car drivers in danger, and he tries to wreck the pace car. I don't know, Terry. He gets no penalty, by the way, Tom.
Where's he hit the pace car?
I don't know if they're going to show it in this one. I've got it pulled up on the next highlight just in
why.
case.
Why did he hit the pace car?
Okay, so Terry, you want to explain it? Do you know why he hit the pace car? I do.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Okay, Tom. The pace car drivers are the first people that reports rain on the track. Okay. They report how bad it is. According to Kyle, it was worse than what the pace car driver thought. So he was mad at the pace car driver for not saying it was raining too hard, and he tried to blame him for him wrecking his car.
Okay.
So Kyle Busch was blaming the pace car driver for wrecking his car.
You don't have
the greatest driver
wipers.
of all time over here.
You don't have windshield wipers at this place.
So did he bump the pace car? Did he bump it?
I'm going to pull it up.
Bumped him. Yeah, he was kind of bumpy.
He tried to wreck him.
Oh, he tried to bump him.
He tried to spin him, Terry. Did he not?
No.
Yes, he did. Let's see. Here it is, Tom. Look, here he comes.
He's in behind him. So now he comes over and he just taps him. Boom.
He's riding his left.
I just tap him.
He's hitting both bumpers. Look, he's trying to rub the bumper off. He shook the bumper off. He was trying to spin him, Terry. That's what trying to spin someone looks like.
Look at his car, though. Wouldn't you want to knock that dude out of the way? Like you just started this thing, and all of a sudden I wrecked. You know,
there's Kyle
right
Busch
there. I mean,
and
you know, well, Truex. That's what I'm saying. There's the first two cars, then everybody else was lost.
Well, you followed the leader.
And look at all the rain falling right there, just on that.
So let's go over to the.
But he says, "Hey, it's good. Let's go." No, you know, we don't have all that stuff out here. That's why NASCAR should not have. If you don't put the windshield wipers and give them good tires and all this stuff, the race shouldn't even be started.
How far were they into the race?
8 laps.
Look at this, Tom.
Yeah, that's bad.
Says lap 7 to 75.
That's really bad.
It's not really bad. But Tom, the whole generation of it, he packs his car up, he goes home, takes his kid and children out to eat before that race ever finished. But then you know what his last words were? Hey, don't worry about it. I'm in the chase.
Look at this.
I'm in the chase.
Look at this. They had to stop the car and check for damages and file an insurance report, Tom. As he ripped the bumper off.
If he wanted to wreck him, he could have wrecked him.
He tried to.
So NASCAR did not fine him for that?
No!
He could have wrecked him. Well, because it was that guy's fault for starting it.
So that's what it reminds you of, if anybody knows, if you've ever been watching, if you've ever seen Days of Thunder, Cole, he tells him to go up there and wreck the pace car because he's hit every dang thing else out there.
Hit the pace car. Yeah, I remember
Why?
that.
Well, you've hit everything else out there. This is Kyle Busch Saturday. It's for Sunday night.
Oh,
There's Cole saying, what for? Now, he had a few choice other words that we can't say on the radio when he told him to hit the pace car. What a good movie.
I just think I forgot Cousin Eddie was in that movie.
He's Randy Quaid. He's one of the most talented actors of all time.
He's completely bat. You know what? He's crazy.
Greatest actors ever. Classically trained actor.
Yeah.
Did you know that? He is. He's Broadway trained.
He's great.
Tom, don't typecast somebody now. Don't typecast somebody. Just based on their
fled to Canada and then tried to get out.
No. They were we get into that later. It was a prosecutor that's already been basically disbarred or kicked out was going after conservative actors and their taxes.
Yeah, but he's nuts.
And that was part of
There's
him.
being conservative and there's being nuts. He's kind of nuts.
I'm just telling you that was the Canada thing is that a tax issue. But anyway, Kyle Busch, we will have no racing for the next couple weeks. Everybody's going. I've been seeing everybody talk about dirt tracks and other things like that to watch. And like I said, Terry, it is kind of weird that they're taking a couple weeks off here for the Olympics just based on TV.
Gotta have the money.
All right.
Yeah.
So no, we ain't got no picks to make this week. All right, guys, if we miss anything, either comments, suggestions? I'm looking through my stuff now. Other than Joe Boo's been pissed off. I don't know what y'all might never win a championship now, Tom.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
It's been totally cursed.
No, Tom, I'm proud of you for wearing the Indian stuff.
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm not playing the game. I'm not gonna play the rage game. I'm enraged. I'm like, no, it is what it is.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody for coming in today. I tell you what,
appreciate Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Friendship Nissan in Forest City. Go see them for a new ride today.
Yes.
So thank you, Friendship, for sponsoring Saturday Morning Sports Talk.
And Mitchem Kitchn for their breakfast.
Yep. I guess JP.
When is being different a good thing? Well, at Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City, our customers say, look at our Google reviews. They say we're different too. We have the region's only non-commissioned sales force. We use no haggle, clear choice pricing, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. When our customers leave, they say, that was a great experience. And that's where we're most different. That's Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram, and we're located in Forest City.